serving the local community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Great. Their lead therapist. Then we're going to be chatting and bringing you some information from the Eagle Valley Library District. We've got Allie Teague from the Bookworm of Edwards coming in, as well as Robert Sharon from Reconnected Foundation. It's all taking place here on Good Morning Vail, which starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is sponsored by Grand Hyatt Vail. Indulge in the bold flavors of Makoto at Grand Hyatt Vail. Make your reservations today.
Let's take a look at that local weather forecast for today. We are expecting to see those temperatures slightly warm up. 21 degrees first thing this morning, a high of 28. 50% chance of snow showers is likely. Occasional snow showers throughout the course of today. Winds coming out of the west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour, which is going to make that 28 degrees feel a little bit cooler than it actually is. Now, as we take a look at Vail by the hour, that high settling in between that 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock hour. Snow showers likely this morning, few showers into the afternoon. Cloudy skies into the later afternoon, and then we will see those dissipate by evening tonight. As we take a look at that I-70 corridor, temperatures down in Denver definitely cooler than they have been. 44 degrees, 10% chance of precipitation, 28 in Vail with a 50% chance of moisture, 32 in Avon with a 50% chance of precipitation, 37 in Eagle with a 20% chance of moisture. Now, as we take a look at Vail overnight tonight, temperatures are cooling down. 11 degrees is our overnight low. Mostly clear skies, but that sun setting nice and late now. 7:17 is when we're going to see that sun go down. Wind shifting directions coming out of the south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour overnight tonight. Now, as we take a look ahead into the next 5 days, if you're someone who maybe needs a break from that snowfall, well, then it's in the forecast for you. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow with a high of 39 degrees, 40 degrees on Friday, 10% chance of precipitation. Another storm front rolling in by Saturday, a wintry mix, 60% chance of precipitation on Saturday, temperatures reaching into the low to mid 40s, and then by Monday we'll see mostly cloudy skies with a high of 53. Now, as we take a look at what's taking place up on our resorts, 24 lifts are open, 174 trails are open, 98% of the terrain is open up on Beaver Creek Mountain. The lifts open at 8:30 a.m. They continue to stay open until 4 p.m. 4 new inches of new snow in the last 24 to 48 hours, bringing that season total to 222 inches with a 65-inch base depth. Now, as we make our way over to Vail, 30 lifts are open, 274 trails are open, and 98% of the terrain is open. The hours of operation on Vail Mountain are 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. 5 new inches of snow in the last 24 to 48 hours, bringing that season total to 284 inches with a 75-inch base depth. We hope that you get out there, enjoy the mountain, but to do so, it's best that you know the lens of the day.
Lens of the Day is brought to you by Eyepieces of Vail and Goggle Bar.
Welcome back to the show. Now, I love getting to talk about things that get you excited to get out there, ski or ride, and help you see better on the mountain. So right now I've got the Smith 4D Mag with the ChromaPop lens technology. Now, this is a great goggle. Because of that 4D technology that's in it, it increases your field of view by 25% with that bird's eye view. So as we take a look at this goggle lens, as I rotate it down, you can see that that lens continues right here, allowing you to see better out out there with that 25% increase. Now to change this goggle lens, all you do is pull these levers down. Then you're going to pull that lens right out. It's easy to switch. You're going to line it up. Make sure that it is fully lined up, that goggle lens is all the way in there, and then you're just going to snap those little levers back into place, securing your goggle lens, making it nice and easy to change. If I can change it here on the couch, well then you can change it out there on the chairlift. This is an incredible goggle to have your hands on because that ChromaPop technology means color pop, so it's going to help you see those colors better out there on the slopes, so that way you can see better, so you can ski or ride better. Now if you want to get your hands on this incredible goggle, make sure that you go to any one of the eyepieces of Vail locations throughout our community because we've got so many that you're going to want to check out, and there are some great places to get a helmet and some goggles. That way you are fully protected out there on the mountain. We want to thank Eyepieces of Vail for bringing you this Lens of the Day report this morning. If you're looking for new goggles, new helmet, or any vision needs, well then they're the perfect place for you to go. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Coming at you from around the world. The biggest names in sports, entertainment, and business.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's no way.
Exclusive access and one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, you guys really did some deep research.
I don't think we should give him any more information.
In depth with Graham Bensinger.
TV8 Vail is expanding its distribution, and we want you to be the first to know. You can now find TV8 and our all-Spanish live stream Conecta en Vivo on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Search the channel store for TV8 Vail and Conecta en Vivo on your device and add them to your list of favorite channels. And as always, you can continue to live stream on our website at tv8vail.com or find us on Spotify. At home or on the go, you'll never miss a minute of your favorite local programs on TV8.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881.
Good morning, Vail.
A great resource here in our community is Revolution Recovery Solutions, and I'm here with the founder, Dustin Straight. Good morning, Dustin.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to have you here because I feel like you bring a wealth of knowledge and a new perspective that I think really benefits people. So thank you for taking the time to be here this morning.
Of course, yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
No, it's not, because even just talking, you know, you and I have these like little banters before we go live on camera,
Sure.
and you always have something wise to say. So I appreciate it, but for people who don't know what you do, let's get into it.
Yeah, so Revolution Recovery Services is an intensive outpatient program. So We focus mainly on substance use disorder and co-occurring disorders. So a lot of fancy words for addiction and people that have addiction plus another mental health condition, which is most people that struggle with substance use disorder. So alcoholism and anxiety, that's a really common kind of combination that we work with and focus on. And for a lot of people, going away to a 30, 45, 90-day inpatient program isn't necessarily something they can do. So intensive outpatient's a great option where you can still continue to work, live at home, and have the support of roughly 10 hours of treatment per week, both group and individual therapy. We're also a community resource. So yesterday I had somebody call in and their family member was not appropriate for an intensive outpatient program. They needed a higher level of care. And so I actually have a list of facilities that I've vetted that I always say, like, I would send a family member to them. Like, I know they do good work. And so that was just a refer out. They may be a client someday, they may not, that doesn't really matter. It's getting people to where they need to go and finding the appropriate level of care to get them well, essentially. So,
which is something we see here so frequently because it's a mountain town. It's kind of a party town.
A little bit.
You can easily get sucked into a bad situation because everyone's worried about their housing or how they're going to afford it or what their next step is. As winter season winds down, seasonal employees start to get stressed and that stress compounds, and then a lot of people here turn to substances.
There's actually a few factors as to why that happens. One, we have a pretty transient population.
Yes.
And alcohol or substance use is a really easy common ground to find between people. So if I'm new and I'm going to my job and people say, hey, let's go out for beers.
Right.
Like, oh, perfect. That's my opportunity to create relationship. The problem can be that can progress into sort of the norm. And because substance use is a progressive condition of the brain, addiction can happen. So it gets very normalized in our culture. The other thing that you're talking about, and we have fancy words for everything in psychology, is we're sneaking up on what we call like a liminal space or a liminal time, which is essentially a threshold between two things, right? So we've been in ski season.
Yes.
Now we're coming up to mud season. Mud season is sort of that liminal space where there's some anxiety and there's some stress and life changes and we're like, okay, I don't really know what to do. My life's different. I'm sort of anxious about it. I don't know what's coming this summer. And then summer gets here and it's like, oh, okay, cool. I know how summer works. You know, I work here, I do this, or we have, you know, an influx of people. So that can happen in our community, but it also happens within ourselves, right? So one of the things that we focus on at Revolution is, okay, you've been in active addiction, you've had substance use disorder for many, many years. Now you're looking at changing your life, and there's going to be that period in between where you feel kind of lonely and you don't really know exactly who you are because a ton of your identity may have been invested in the whole substance use culture. So figuring out that, one, we as a community will be in a liminal space very soon. We've kind of already started. And two, that's something that we can experience independently.
Yeah.
And rather than sort of panicking about it, understanding what it is.
Right.
Because there's a lot of times when we don't know what's going on, we start to panic and go, oh no, like, I'm the only one that's ever been through this. And it's like, well, no. It's so common, there's actually a name for it, which is sort of comforting. When you go, oh, okay, this has been documented. We know what this is.
And it happens to other people. I'm not alone in these feelings because that loneliness that you were talking about is something that I have watched more people struggle with here than anywhere else I've ever lived because it is so transient. So you make a friend, you're excited, you have someone that you're doing stuff with, and then the friend's like, cool, I'm leaving.
Yep. Yeah. That, and we're pretty siloed too. I mean, like if you're in Eagle, you kind of hang out in Eagle, and if you're over in Edwards, you kind of hang out there. But yeah, finding that connection and finding that sense of safety and belonging is super important, especially when we're in a town with a transient population that has a lot of the challenges that we have. So yeah, it's very interesting work, and that's another thing that's kind of cool about working at an IOP is working with individuals in the community. And I can appreciate some clients come in and they're like, this is a small community, I don't want to do any group work.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I fully get that.
Right.
But what's really interesting is how much respect people have for the confidentiality of the group and sort of like the sanctity of the group.
Right.
But then to watch the connections happen and people start to like hang out outside of group or just support each other and come in and everyone's sort of rallying around one another. It's a fun job. I get kind of a front row seat to all of that change. So.
Which I'm sure watching those connections happen is so rewarding for you as someone who's trying to help these people not feel alone, and then they help themselves with the help of you, and it just comes full circle in a beautiful way.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean, like right now, just our group cohesion's really good, and my job is actually really easy. I can just kind of sit there,
right?
Because we actually have the ability to heal ourselves as long as we give ourselves the permission to do that. And that happens a lot in the group dynamic where someone's offering feedback and they build trust with someone they didn't know a month ago. And then that person says something to them and they go, oh my God, like, yeah, that makes sense to me. And you can see the kind of that click. And yeah, so they end up, I mean, the group ends up sort of coming together to heal one another and figure out new options for living, which is, like I said, it's pretty fun and it makes my job pretty easy, actually.
And it makes your job fill your cup. It's one of those situations where you're like, wow, this is helping, this is changing, this is saving people, because alcoholism is something, unfortunately, that is taking a serious toll, not only on our community, but on our generation. Yeah, no, it's pretty, I mean, it's always been there, but it seems like in the last 15 years or so, it's sort of accelerated. But again, being able to push back against the culture, which is, that's what we have here. We have an opera culture. Yes.
But one person, two people, and then what's interesting is like people that have completed the program are referring their friends because their friends see what's going on for that individual and the change and the positive things that are happening for them. And so that's actually pretty cool too, is like, okay, we're sort of up against this culture and we can't address it all at one time.
Right.
So what we can do is provide the resources, and then when people, complete the program and they're living their lives in a sober and healthy way, people are going to see that. People are going to notice. I mean, not that many people moved here to develop a substance use disorder.
Right.
Most people moved here because they wanted to get out and ski and hike and golf and be on the river.
Do all the things that we love.
Right, and we end up trading those things for sitting at the bar or isolating and drinking and gaming or whatever it is. So kind of reversing that trend is something else that we're focusing on too.
So if people are interested, because we're really running out of time, but if people are interested in getting involved, learning more about your program, and maybe spending some time chatting with you, how is that possible?
So there's a contact us page on the website, which is revolutionrs.com. That comes right to my inbox, so I'll usually respond within 24 hours. Otherwise, they can give us a call, 970-446-1876.
Dustin, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and thank you for putting this hard foot forward in the community, because it's something that's not been here before, and we're really grateful as a community to have it.
Well, thanks.
Make sure that you go to recoveryrs.com. That way you can see all of the incredible offerings that Dustin has for you, and that way you can become part of the program, better your life, and better what you're doing. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so don't go anywhere.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Ready to power up for summer? Whether you hike, bike, golf, or just want to feel great, get ready for summer with Mountain Recreation. Sign up for our Power Up for Summer promo and get 4 personal training sessions, a nutrition consultation, and exclusive recovery group access, all for $250 at the Gypsum Rec Center. Register by March 24th for April sessions at mountainrec.org or the Gypsum Rec Center front desk. Mountain Recreation. Active, healthy, together.
Hello everyone, I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do. So even though you work for
some good deals, too good to miss on flash deals now. Check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. This is always one of my favorite parts of my job because I love the bookworm of Edward. So we've got Allie Teague and we've got the incredible author Christina of this book with an event that's taking place tomorrow. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. So let's talk about your book. What inspired you to write it and what is it about?
It is a collection of ecofeminist essays that explores water, whales, and women and the interconnections between them. And I think that motherhood really made me feel the lack of distinction between my body and the body of the environment. And so I just wanted to inspect a lot of those interconnections and explore a lot of my eco grief that I'm feeling on this planet that's challenged ecologically right now. And so, yeah. There's a lot of feelings in this book.
Which I think is so powerful because right now I think there's a lack of exploring feelings. There's a lack of having the empathy. There's a lack of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So to bring that to life in a book is so wonderful to empower women, bring kind of the concern to our environment, but then have those emotions.
Yeah.
I think it's such a beautiful art form.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think a lot of people do have them and they also just repress them, which is also super uncomfortable. So, and I think I suffered with a lot of like anxiety and sleeplessness because I was repressing a lot of my eco grief. And so by writing the book and crying into every single page, I do hope that other people feel more permission to let into their feelings and express their feelings. And I do think feelings also lead to action, which we need to see a lot more of.
Yes, and what a great combination. So there's an event taking place at the Bookworm tomorrow. Are tickets
night.
Still available?
There are tickets still available. We're filling up, which is awesome. It's going to be a full house, which is going to be always super fun.
It is.
We always have light apps and hors d'oeuvres. So, you know, we know 6 o'clock is right around dinner time, but we want to make sure you can come hang out with us. Christina's going to read a couple snippets of her book, which is going to be awesome. I started it. I have not finished it yet, but I have started it, and it's gorgeous. The writing is really awesome. You can tell how much effort you put into every single word on the page, which is my personal favorite way to read a book. So I'm excited to hear them in your own cadence when you read them. It's going to be great.
I just got goosebumps only because Allie and I have very different book types that we like to read, and we talk about it pretty frequently, and so to hear you have such a strong emotional connection to a book, I literally got goosebumps.
That's awesome. You should read it.
Yeah, I'm coming in today. I'm going to try and find my soulmate still, buy some books, you know, the life of the bookworm here in Edwards. It really comes full circle.
It does.
So as people are reading it, what can they expect to come across that could put them in those moments of awe?
Well, that's a good question. I also wanted to speak a little bit about just the form because it is an essay collection, which is a little bit different. It's not like a novel where you're just like
start to finish.
Yeah, and every page is meant to turn the next page. They're lyric essays, so there are some poetic elements, which the white spaces are meant to speak. You know, like if you read an essay, you can put it down and think about it and reflect. I mean, that's what it's meant to do.
Right.
So, but I feel total awe there's encounters with, you know, whales, humpbacks, sperm whales, manta rays, sea turtles, leatherback turtles. I mean, these creatures
they naturally inspire awe, even sometimes just by their sheer size. But digging into that sense of wonder and awe was definitely, I mean, writing allows you to like camp out in those feelings, and so that's what I really wanted to do.
When I'm someone who reads and I'll like start reading.
Yeah.
And a couple days ago, I was like, all right, I have 140 pages left. I was like, I'm gonna read 4 chapters. And I was like, and then I'm gonna put my book down and go to bed. I ended up reading all 140 pages. And I was like, oh, it's fun in the morning now. I'm definitely not in bed. But the ending of the book was fantastic, so I couldn't put it down. And I love books that are written in this format because then you read that one and you're like, okay, I'm inspired. Or maybe I'm feeling these emotions. And I like to read and then dog walk too, so that I can like really contemplate what I just went through, and what I read and the emotions that were invoked, especially because I read a lot of psychological thrillers. Sometimes I need to get my own heart rate down from anxiety. But what a great way for anyone to read one of these little tidbits, this article, this emotion invoking kind of not chapter, but
essay,
as you please, and then spend some time with it, sit with it.
A lot of it was actually written dog walking.
I love it.
Essays sometimes take 19 drafts to actually finish, but I walk every day with my dog, and if you see me on the trails and I'm stopped and I'm writing notes, it's because things come to you when you're walking. You know how that works. It's something about the essence of moving forward. Just brings inspiration.
100%, and I feel like we just became soulmates. I found my soulmate at the Bookworm event, it's because we are one and the same. That's how I do everything. I like contemplate my entire life walking. I'm like, was that a bad decision? Was that smart? And then I'm like, the dogs are gonna see me to it. Like, I'm gonna follow them, and we're all gonna come up with a solution. So as people are coming, they can expect to hear you read, your cadence, your voice really taking power in the book tomorrow night, but then they'll have some opportunity to just chat with you. I think one of the greatest things that the Bookworm does is it inspires young writers to become better writers, and so then they can have an open conversation with you about how they could maybe move forward.
And I practically live at the Bookworm, so if you ever see me eating there or reading there, come on up and say hi.
Oh my gosh, so you're a local author.
Oh yeah, I live a mile away.
That's incredible. So not only is buying the book supporting local business, but local artists. Oh, how incredible. Oh my gosh, I love it. Are there any other events coming up at the Bookworm that people should know about?
We actually have one tonight too. We have a book club, another water book. It's called Water Finds a Way, and that's our Women's Voices book club with Karin, who actually, I was talking to her about Christina's book, and she said, I sat down to read 3 of the essays and ended up reading like 8 of them, which is awesome. Which for her is huge. She reads so much. And then we have some really exciting stuff going on in April. We're bringing back our board game club, which is going to be really fun.
Oh, fun.
And a bunch of book clubs. We have our Read with Pride book club, our Happy Endings book club next week. We love book clubs.
I love the book clubs. The only problem is I would join all of them, and then I get overwhelmed because I also book club with my mother.
That's sweet.
Oh yeah, we're avid readers in my family, so I can't wait to read this and then get my mom and my sister a copy and get them to read it because it really is. Reading is kind of a connection that brings people together in a way that no one understands unless you do it.
My background is actually in experiential education, and so I love to facilitate dialogues, and if anyone has a book club, I'm happy to join it too. So,
oh my gosh,
especially locally, it's easier for me. I mean, I can drop in remotely by Zoom or whatever, but locally, I'm happy to drop in for anyone that has a book club that wants to workshop this book.
Oh, how incredible. And if people are interested in getting in touch with you, should they just come linger around the book? Wait till they bump into you?
They definitely, you can just go to ChristinaRivera.com as well. And there's a whole book club page and has book club questions and an invitation and a calendar. You can set it up yourself or you can send me an email.
Oh, how incredible. Okay. Well, this was so informative. For people who don't know where the Bookworm is located, can you just give us a brief overview of location and hours of operation?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We are in the Riverwalk area in Edwards, and we're in the eastern corner, kind of behind E-Town and the Kind. And we're open 8 to 6 during the week and 9 to 5 on weekends.
I want to thank you both so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us just an inside look into the beautiful creation that is, and invite everyone to come spend some time with you guys tomorrow.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Make sure that you check out The Bookworm of Edwards. You get your hands on this book. I had someone tell me that there's only a few copies left, so you've got to race me to Edwards to get your hands on it. But make sure that you do so and you participate in all the fun events, because The Bookworm of Edwards is such a great place to find your sense of community, and that's so important this time of year. So make sure you check out The Bookworm. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so don't go anywhere.
Good morning, Vail.
The season starts when Nate Dogg, Trailer Tom, and friends have started the season at Farley.
There it is, the white ribbon of living.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And on that very first chair, two very familiar faces who've been in line for 2 days.
My name is Nate Dogg, N-A-T-E, D-O-G-G-G-G.
My name is Trailer Tom.
Nate Nadler and Tom Miller live nearby.
I feared nothing but not getting first chair.
Second chair nightmare.
Yeah, second chair nightmare.
My goal is to continue to fight for this first chair as long as I'm physically able. First chair coming at us one more year.
Discover the perfect blend of style and performance in your eyewear at Eyepieces. With convenient locations in Vail Village, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, Edwards, Basalt, and Snowmass, Eyepieces is the destination for luxury eyewear and high-performance optics. From iconic brands to the latest in sport frames and snow goggles, we have the eyewear to match your mountain lifestyle. Plus, we offer prescription lens services, including eye exams, custom lenses, and prescription goggles for your mountain adventures. Visit us today to experience the art of vision. Eyepieces, serving the Vail Valley's vision needs for over 40 years.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know today is International Read to Me Day, and a great resource here in the community is the Eagle Valley Library District. Well, Tegan Davis stopped in to give us some great information about all of the children's books, events, activities, every way that you can get your child involved in reading to them. So let's hear what the Eagle Valley Library District has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all know that the Eagle Valley Library District has something for everyone, whether it's books, resources, events, activities, and much more. And one thing that they do specifically well, in my opinion, is anything that has to do with kids and children. And you guys offer so much for the little ones. So joining us this morning is Tegan Davis, and she's got an array of books, a display of books. Specifically for children, Tegan, and I love that we get to talk about this because, one, I feel like when you're a kid, your imagination is just, it's amazing. Kids are such an amazing, it's such an amazing time for kids, and they learn, they grow, they soak everything up, and what better way to do it than with all the books that you guys offer at the library. So today we're going to be chatting about different types, all sorts of books. So tell me about, kind of in general, and then we'll get into some of the details.
That sounds good. So these are children's picture books, but I highly recommend adults to check out children's picture books because there's 50% more rare words in children's picture books than there is on adult television.
Really?
There you get the art, you get the stories, you get stories from around the world, and they're just so beautiful and fun to look at. Absolutely. So I brought a bunch of different books that kind of play with the book structure because I think sometimes we get stuck in like what a book is, and I wanted to show the creativity of our authors and illustrators and how they play with just the structure of a book. So the first one,
Let's get into it.
So this is I was introduced to this book last year, and it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And I liked it so much I bought it. So this is my personal copy.
Wow.
And so this is Tell. It's the folk legend of William Tell, which is from the 13th century. It's a Swiss folk legend. And so what I like about this book, well, first you get the key.
Yes.
And so with the key comes in 4 different languages. They're the Swiss nationally recognized languages. So you got English, you've got Deutsch, and you've got Francais.
Yes.
And then Italiano.
Yep.
I'm sorry, there's 5. Sorry, my bad, there's 5. And then I practiced this one, and I'm so nervous I'm going to mess it up. Rammstein, Griechen.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that wrong. 1% of Swiss speak that language, and it's actually, it's been around since 15 BC. So very old language.
So the key kind of gives you the characters.
The key gives you the characters, because what you'll find is when you open the book, there's no words.
Right.
And so each of these symbols
represents
part of the story.
In the story,
And so there's William Tell and his son, and they're coming into town. And and then you can use this book just like a regular book and flip through, or if you'll hold those pages, I'll pull it out. It becomes a mural, and you can get the whole story all in one go if you want. And it's such a good story. It's such a good story.
Yeah, you were kind of telling me a little bit before, when we were off camera.
Yeah.
And I think you also said it is kind of art.
It is art.
Like it's just an art piece.
It's art and a story all in one. So this is a really fun one.
And I love that because I think you're right. A lot of the times we get kind of stuck in what a book should look like or read like or feel like, but there's so much creativity when it comes to kids' books. So what else we got?
Okay, we got Corner.
Okay.
So this one is also a fun book because in this book, they play in the corner. Okay. So all the pictures, all the illustrations are
they really are in the corner
of the book, and so you just watch this raven go, or maybe it's a crow. I can't remember.
Yes.
And so this one's fun because again, it's not on one side, but pretty soon it gets big. But it all starts in the corner of a book, and so you can talk about the corner. And then we've got this is the only but a goodie, Big Fat Hen. And so another thing when you read or when you're with kiddos is let's see here. Is you can talk about like what this is and what it could be. The older versions have it on the cover.
I see.
So there's 50 of these.
Yes.
I did a preschool story time and we counted.
Wow.
So you can talk about like before and after, cause and effect.
Yes.
This book plays in what is called the gutter. And so the gutter of the book. Let me see if I can find the page for you. Okay. So the gutter is like right in here.
Yep.
And so, let's see. So this is all about a remote control, and they're trying to get the fire truck to like do the sounds, but the dog is the one that ends up doing all of them. And so where is it? I'm trying to find the gutter page. Because they go hiding in the gutter. Shoot, I should have marked this.
One thing that I think most of the books you've mentioned while you look for the page is they are what you would call wordless books or silent books.
So that one's a wordless book, yes, and I have more wordless books. I can't find the gutter, but the characters get sucked in this way.
Okay.
And so that's when the book is playing with the gutter.
Yeah.
This book, how you normally read a book is like this.
Oh, I see.
But
this one is kind of landscape mode.
Yes. And then it goes down and down, and you follow Mel, and everyone's concerned about Mel because she's falling from the tree. And then this book asks you to do things. Mix it up. So it's going to ask you to tap the gray to start.
Okay,
so go ahead
I love
and tap
that more interactive.
Yep, interactive.
More interactive books.
And then now you have all these dots.
Wow.
And then it talks about like, okay, let's see
maybe
if
like
we
color mixing. Yep.
So what if you did blue and you rubbed on, let's see here,
red. Exactly.
And then what are you going to get?
You got purple.
Purple.
Yes. I'm kind of mind blown, Tegan. Like my mind is being stimulated right now. So I think I agree. Adults should read more children's books.
Yes, absolutely. And it's super fun with kids. Obviously, this is Flora and Flo.
Yes.
And so then, and they do a dance throughout this whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And so it's...
so we got kind of, more interactive.
Yep.
Kids can feel stuff or stuff like that.
And you see that a lot in baby books, lift flap, and so
yeah.
this just continues that for the older kids and also adults. And so they have a few series of this particular author and character, and it's all ballet throughout the whole thing, and she dances with different animals.
Yeah. And I think, kids, there's a lot of different learning styles. Some kids are more visual, some kids like to do the interactive, and some kids like to maybe make up their own story as they go through a book. So there's really endless options.
Yep, there's no limits.
There's no limits.
This is a classic, and so it's Go Away Green Monster. And so as you go across, the monster builds, and kids get scared of monsters. So this book teaches you hey, go away, and then slowly but surely the monster goes away. So it kind of empowers the kiddos.
A lot of the times I think too, kids' books have such meaningful lessons.
Yes.
Even for adults.
Even for adults.
It's they're so deep.
Yeah. Or they can just be there's also some really fun and silly ones. I should bring really fun and silly ones next time. And this one is just beautiful and gorgeous. And this is what you were saying before. It's a wordless book. And so you just go through and you get an idea of what is going on throughout the book.
And as the reader, whoever's reading the book, you can make up the story.
Exactly. So people get intimidated by wordless books because there's no words. What do I do?
Yeah.
And so with this, you can talk about what is on the page. You can start building the story. You can elaborate as much as you want or as little as you want, and you can just keep going and you can tell the story, because here we've got the butterflies, and the butterflies could maybe be hope, and you can just kind of keep going and ask the questions for the kiddos and see where they want to take the story.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, maybe ask the kids, what do they think is happening on the story or in the page, and let their imagination kind of flow as well. We've got some other options on display that I think are awesome. This particular one with the colors I loved, because it kind of, I'm going to pick it up because this was fascinating, and each page kind of blends into the next one, and then you kind of have all these different colors.
Yep. All the different varieties of green for this one.
Yeah, this one is green, which is one of my favorite colors. So
it's a great color. I love it as well.
And each page kind of has a little cutout, and then it just kind of all builds upon each other. And I love how interactive kids' books can be, and a great way for kids to learn and just be creative.
Just be creative, and awesome. I think it just helps our minds when a book changes the structure or plays with the structure, because things don't have to be the way we think it is. We can be creative, and so these books just highlight that creativity within the structure.
I love that. For anybody watching, come to the library, check out some of these books, whether it's for yourself, I might go check out some of these, or for some of the little ones, and have fun with it, get creative. I love that these books kind of break the mold onto what a traditional book kind of looks like. And then there's really no limits.
No limits. And as always, if you don't like it, we have lots of books. Come ask us. We're happy to get you what you're interested in.
I love that. And as always, you can visit evld.org for more information, or visit one of our local libraries, which has tons of books for all ages. And I love that you guys do such an amazing job for the kiddo. So thank you, Tegan, for coming in and getting my creativity flowing this morning. I love it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more of the show after this, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunities for points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point to this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that. And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. We've had a morning about talking about community and how you can find the perfect community. Well, the Reconnected Foundation is one of the ways that you can do so. And I'm joined by one of the founders, Robert. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, you know, I always love having you on the couch because it's some good catch-up time. We've known each other forever. But also, I love what you do in the community because you do give people that safe space.
Yeah, it's cool, and especially after Monday was St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
So we all know what that entails, a lot of partying, and whether you're super hungover and want to change your lifestyle after the drinking holiday, or maybe you felt like you missed out because you didn't get to engage in that, and that's really what we're here for, is to create opportunity for connection for people that are living a similar lifestyle, which it's like a myth buster. It's not boring to be in recovery or to live like a sober lifestyle, or like people that are sober curious these days and want to give it a shot, but are too scared to, you know, go out on their own. And like someone told me the other night, like, yeah, I bet there's nobody in the club like just raw dogging it, no substances. Like, I don't want to be the only one. And it's like, oh, I was there that night. So
you were like, yeah, I
was, yeah.
You're just one of those people, though, who has a larger-than-life personality. And you bring the fun, you bring the enjoyment, you bring the excitement. And I think that that's so powerful for you to show people that, like, you can be yourself and be as big as you want to be in the room without the substance.
Yeah. And but it takes a little bit to get there, I think, and it took me a little bit to get there as well. And so having someone maybe like, yes, show you the way, or hold your hand metaphorically or literally, like while you're testing the waters is so big. Like, I couldn't have done it without the people that showed me, like, oh, they're being themselves, like out at night or whatever the case may have been. So.
And it's okay to do. But that's the best part about Reconnected, is for those people who are uncomfortable, who are scared, who are nervous, who feel alone in this process. You guys are there, and you do healthy happy hour on Thursdays to like start the process. It's a good way to put your foot in the water, experience the fun. Maybe you're not that athletic and can't make it up the entire mountain, but there are other options.
Right. So on Tuesdays, we have yoga every Tuesday at the Lodge at Vail. And then we have a bunch of random events, and not all of them are athletic. However, on March 29th, we'll be doing like a snowshoe hour. We paired up with Gravity House. So it's kind of like a singles ski day. Whether you're looking for like just a friendship or a relationship, we'll be lapping Chair 26 in Vail, Pride Express, and then we'll be having like a mocktail happy hour at Gravity House afterwards. And then in April, we're going to be doing like pottery and painting over at Dewey Dabbles and Eagle. So we have events for
everyone,
whatever your flavor is. Yeah.
I loved that. The marketing for that. Are you ready to get out of the singles line? That's perfect.
Yeah, it is good.
And what a fun way to just get the community involved. And as Dustin and I were just talking, because you and Dustin work very closely together as your neighbors.
Right.
I think it's so cool that all of these resources are right here. They're readily available. And it shows that although our community feels large at times, it's actually quite small, and it can be so interconnected and so just like full circle of love and friendship and support.
Right. And so many times people will whether they'll come to our events or a support meeting, and they'll run into somebody they know there, and they're like, whoa, I didn't, like, they're like scared at first, and then they're like, oh wait, this means we're both here to better ourselves. Oh, cool. And to like have someone, I know for me it was so helpful to have someone kind of from my like past life in a sense, like that, like I was like, oh dang, I have no clue that they were on a journey of recovery, and like to join them, it makes it so much easier.
Right, and to just have that camaraderie.
Right.
And I know that you and some of the people that are with you at Reconnected, you guys are kind of competitive about some of the stuff you do.
Yeah, yeah, we are. And healthy competition, you know, there's like this meme going around that's like, friends that talk crap to one another are 300% more loyal, and that fits us a lot.
Yeah.
We're always like peer pressure in like a different way now. And so this summer there's a bunch of us that have like kind of egged one another to sign up for these different running races. And so from a marathon, or from like, I think the shortest one is a 10K all the way up to a 100-mile race, all taking place in Leadville. And so we'll all be training together all summer. And I think like, for sure, there's like some smack talking that always goes on and all that, but the main thing is just to be able to set a goal, work towards that goal, and work towards it with others. And so ideally, this summer we'll have regular reoccurring hikes or runs or bike rides to help people get ready for these events. And A, you don't have to be competing in these events to join. B, you don't even have to be in recovery. Like, we welcome all those who are supportive of the lifestyle to like join and participate. Whether you're handing us a Gatorade or egging us on and pushing us on the trail, so whatever your cup of tea is.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that you include everyone, because it's really important that everyone feels that support throughout this. And so maybe people aren't athletically inclined, but some people are better as supporters and nurturers, and so to even have that opportunity to feel needed, I think can totally change people's perspective.
Right. It's the fastest way to get out of our own heads is to like show up to support somebody else, you know? So if you can't do it for yourself, remember you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for others. Like, how helpful is it to show up to a room where there's more people that are of different ages, like a diverse setting versus just like a few people? And so if you can come and add to that setting, it's so helpful. And so that's my trick to like get like, oh yeah, like I know you don't want to show up, but so-and-so would really like to see you there. And they're like, oh shit, now I gotta go. So,
yeah, that way it kind of gives that drive, that push forward. And that little bit of inspiration, which I think right now, especially as we're going into the off season, people are gonna start to lack that inspiration to maybe stay healthy or to maybe connect with other people instead of just kind of sulking.
Right. I mean, the mountain shuts down, lots of people's jobs finish, and so like if job is your purpose or a sense of, like now you've lost that. And so that's really what we're here to try to like ramp our programming up during the off season or the mud season, and like provide opportunities for connection in a different way, just so people don't kind of like fall into those unhealthy habits just out of like boredom or lack of things to do.
Which I think is really important, and it shows the love that you have for the community, and I think that's so spectacular.
Yeah, it is cool.
Now, if people want to get involved, can they just come, show up, step in?
Yeah, so you can find out on our website, reconnected.org, or Instagram, reconnected_foundation, of all of our events going on. And I should mention, like, if you or someone you know or love is struggling with like a mental health challenge or substance use disorder, like right on our website or Instagram, there's ways to reach out directly to us. And we do offer one-on-one supportive coaching, or we can connect them to different resources to get them like a higher level of care if they need to go away to treatment, which I just say is like school for recovery. You know, you go for an intensive like boot camp and come back, and we're really here to catch you when you come back. So yeah, people can show up and reach out to us, whatever their fancy.
Robert, I want to thank you so much for
Yeah.
taking the time, coming to chat with us. I always love getting to see you.
Same.
And I love getting to chat with you and hear all the great things you're up to.
Thanks.
Make sure that you check out Reconnected Foundation. That way you can be part of the community, and especially if you're starting to struggle now that off season is upon us. This is a great resource, and we're so fortunate to have so many of those throughout the community, so make sure you check it out. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got just a little Good Morning Vail left, so don't go anywhere.
Good morning, Vail.
TVA Vail is proud to announce the Wacky Winter Reading Program. We're asking children of all ages, K and even the teenagers going up to 12th grade, read 10 books or 1,000 pages by April 30th, 2025. You can find all the details on our website, tva8vail.com. Thank you to our sponsor, the lovely Eagle Valley Library District, where you can go pick up your book and have a great time. Have a great winter from your friends at TVA Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
We want to thank you so much for tuning into this edition of TV8's Good Morning Vail. We love getting to be here each and every morning, bring you all of this wonderful community information. We hope that we've inspired you to check out the Bookworm of Edwards, use the great resources that are here in the community. Get out there and have a great day, everyone.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
I'm Amy Goodman,